Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Appreciate you for coming on.
Definitely appreciate you for having me.
Yep, no problem. Welcome to episode number 128 of the Statistic. I'm here with Sebastian Benjamin from San Francisco, and I'm excited to hear his story on how he got to where he is at today and everything else. So, welcome.
Thank you. Where do I start? Where do I start? So I'm from Philadelphia originally. Did the whole high school thing. I didn't really get to playing football until a little bit later in my high school career. Um, my senior After my senior season, I ended up picking up a couple FCS offers. Ultimately committed to St. Francis. Was there for 4 years. Through COVID and all these things that were going on around that time. And my senior year, you know, we strung together a great season. A lot of records broken individually as a team. The best season actually in school history by many accounts. Um, you know, and we were able to win the conference championship, go to the playoffs. Unfortunately, we lost in the first round against Delaware. After that, uh, I ended up transferring up to Western Kentucky University. Um, play some good ball over there. We weren't able to win any championships, unfortunately. We won a bowl game, my first year there though. We won above 500 both years. But no, it's definitely been a journey, definitely.
What has been the transition process like for you moving to a different school with a different team?
Um, the transition, I would say it wasn't too tough. I feel like in this landscape of college football, with NIL and the transfer portal and all those things, a lot of teams are revolving doors. Like it's just guys coming in and coming out. So, um, it wasn't too tough of a transition, mostly because I was coming in with probably 10 other transfers, maybe 15. My roommate was a transfer, so the that kind of eased the transition process. Uh, but no, at the end of the day, it's just guys. It's just we just playing football. At the end of the day, all the things are gonna be the same. You just got to get used to new personalities and just being around different people. But it was a great transition.
What's your plan for this upcoming fall?
This upcoming fall.
Yeah.
Um, as of right now, I'm home. I'm training. Um, the draft is this week, so you know, just keep my fingers crossed. As far as the fall, um, there's just still some variables that I still have to figure out. But being optimistic, working hard.
Have you been in touch with NFL teams throughout the draft process?
Yeah, mostly through my agent. There's definitely been a couple teams that asked about me, about thankfully, throughout my college career, I was able to do like a lot of different things. In terms of on the field, uh, pass rushing, dropping in coverage, playing inside backer, outside backer, played on the line, off the line. So, yeah, yeah. Like I said, mostly through my agent, but yeah, a couple teams have contacted, and I've been in touch.
What's your favorite thing to do in your free time?
In my free time, I listen to a lot of music. I like listening to music a lot. I play video games sometimes, not too often. Um, Might turn on a movie. I like hanging out with my friends. I don't know. I be chilling. I don't know. I be chilling. Just trying to have fun. I guess.
How how was it like playing football for a Philadelphia high school?
Um, it was fun. It was definitely fun. Um, One thing about it though, something that I've seen, um, it's like transferring that mindset of playing high school football in Philadelphia, um, going to college where it's like things you can't really care. I mean, you can to an extent, but you got to turn it down. You can't be the exact same person you were, in high school and talk the same way and go about, how you communicate with others. It's definitely a process to learn how to um just be around different types of people, like, St. Francis, all those guys, most of those guys, the majority of the team was, they were from central Pennsylvania, the sticks, kind of middle of nowhere type thing. In Western Kentucky, there's a lot of guys from the South. So it's like, you gotta learn how to be cool. You gotta learn how to be around people that you wouldn't necessarily be around in too many other instances. But no, it was playing high school football in Philly. It was fun. It was definitely fun. It made a lot of memories.
What what made you transfer to Western Kentucky?
Opportunity, I would say. I love St. Francis, and those guys over there. A lot of the coaches that coached me are still there. They did a lot for me. Um, but I just wanted an opportunity to play on a higher level. And they didn't take that any negative way. They were all happy for me. They all a lot of them still check up with me to this day. So
What has been your favorite memory playing at St. Francis and Western Kentucky?
my favorite memory at St. Francis, I would say, was my entire last season. We went on like I want to say it was like an 8-9 game winning streak or something like that. And now that's winning is fun. Winning makes everything better. It doesn't matter what you got going on. If you winning, that like everything you got going on just multiplies. Like we had a great time. Um, Undefeated all the way to the championship. Won the championship. That was great. Um, Western Kentucky, I would say this past season we played Toledo. Um, and somewhere around halftime, we had to go inside for a rain delay.
Hmm.
And I was just starting to get into I was just starting to get into my groove. I was having I was having a great time on the field. So we ended up going in a rain delay for I think an hour, almost, maybe more, give or take. And we went out, and when we went back out, a lot of people were gone because they thought the game was. We didn't think the game was. We thought the game was going to get canceled, but we came back out. We won, I think, in overtime, and that was just like a great. We just had a great time. It was just like the energy was high. We kind of had to bring our own juice, bring our own momentum. So yeah, I would say this past season versus Toledo was the most fun I had at Western Kentucky.
Are you planning on doing anything special for the NFL draft?
Anything special? No, I'm probably just going. It's probably just going to be another day in the office. I'm probably just going to work out. Yeah, I'm probably just going to work out, come home. I'll watch it. I'll sit. My family will probably be here. The people I live with, but nothing too big.
Hmm. What is your projection of where you might end up at?
I try not to think too heavily on those type of things. I leave those things to God. Wherever I'm meant to be, however high or low I go, you just take it in stride, and you just ball. So any
Mhm.
opportunity I get, wherever that may be, just trying to ball. That's all.
You sound like a special, talented athlete with high expectations, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck in the near future. And I really hope that you get to where you want to be.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on.
I'll definitely stay in touch with you, and hopefully you'll be in the NFL one day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For sure.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
All right. You too.
Thanks.